a unique group of men and women that had fought for our countries in many different ways, and I'm proud to say that I am one of them. The military was a great time for me to really to grow, to mature. It gave me an opportunity to understand myself and understand, what we're doing in our world. It gave me a lot more appreciation going overseas that I think that gives you a great appreciation for living here in the United States. And my father was always a very important part. He talked about his time in service too. In World War II, he was with the Army Air Corps. He had served different places, so I always listened to his stories. I was an entrepreneur at one time. I had my own business, and then we sold that. And then from there, I got into financial planning, financial services, and working with people and trying to help them with their own financial needs. Then I had a moment, a tamale moment. And, for all my life, my mother had always told us that we need to get together to make tamales. And so I've always wanted to do something for my mother. And so I said, Mom, I'm gonna write a book about this. I'm gonna write a book about this family tradition, about you. So yeah, after 3 years, I was able to have my first book, Sophia's Awesome Tamale Day. And Sophia is my mother's name, so that's how I got that. That was easy to pick. Yeah, so that was the first one, Sophia's Awesome Tamale Day. The second one, I realized that people kept on saying, there's a real need for these type of books. And so I realized that what I was writing were books that were teaching kids about their traditions and culture and being proud of their heritage. And I also wanted to add a little bit of history in there. But the really thing is, as I continued to write more, I found out is that I wanted them to also honor their parents, their ancestors. And so after writing these books, after writing 2 or 3 books, I realized that I had a model. And the model was, I wanted this message that I wanted to share with the kids. This is important that these kids should understand this. The second thing was that Sophia, this young girl, she's the one that provides life learning experiences. And then the third thing was Pepe the Parrot. And Pepe the Parrot has really been incredible. The kids really relate to the parrot. And so Pepe has become, he's probably the most famous out of everybody in the book, in the stories. And he gets to have the last word. He gets to teach the kids new words in Spanish. He's the one that says all the funny jokes. He's a funny guy. So when I ask after the story, I read it in classrooms, and when they share this story, they all want to know more about Pepe. Where did Pepe come from? And is Pepe going to be in the next book? And so, but you asked me about the names of the books. So that was the first book, Sophia's Awesome Tamale Day. The second book is called The Search for the Lost Art of Making Tortillas. And I got that idea because my grandmother made tortillas every day. My mother, she made them less. My sisters think going to Costco is making tortillas. The next story was about Isabella's treasure. And this is a story about Sophia trying to find her family's treasure, and along the way discovers the real treasure about knowing your family's history. And it was at this point I realized that a lot of kids in school today have a problem with their identity. They hear things in the radio and the television, and they're very concerned about who they are and where they came from and where they belong. So I wanted to share the story about Sophia and her ancestor Isabella, teaching kids about their culture, tradition, and being proud of their heritage, and honoring and respecting their ancestors. That's the real key to all my books. The first one, the Tamale book, which is Sophia's Awesome Tamale Day, that's about bringing family together, that family tradition of tamales. The Search for the Lost Art of Making Tortillas, that's about keeping those traditions alive and keeping family together like that. I just feel like I I'm helping our community to be better.